Hiking the minimum wage at the same time Congress is pondering granting legal status to 11 million undocumented immigrants would create a vortex of misfortune for black workers, and particularly black men, a member of the United States Civil Rights Commission told Congress on Thursday. Peter Kirsanow, who also is a labor lawyer and former member of the National Labor Relations Board, said the education levels of undocumented immigrants put them in direct competition with black men who are disproportionately represented in the low-skilled labor market, and particularly areas like construction and hospitality that are also attractive to the unauthorized population. He said, citing testimony to the Civil Rights Commission, "Illegal immigration has a disproportionately negative effect on the wages and employment opportunities of blacks, particularly black males." His cautionary testimony came as House Democrats kicked off the first hearing in what they hope is a drive for a major rewrite of the immigration system, including legalizing 11 million people currently here without permission and looking at new avenues for legal immigrants to come. Representative Gerald Nadler, New York Democrat and chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, said he expects to move quickly on bills. That includes legislation to legalize Dreamers, and another bill to grant legal status to agriculture workers, both of which passed the House in the previous Congress but saw no action in the GOP-led Senate. Nadler said Democrats plan to go beyond those measures, though. He said, "It is estimated that the 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States pay nearly $12 billion annually in state and local taxes. This number would only grow if they were provided with a chance to obtain legal status." The battle lines were drawn at a hearing of the Judiciary Committee's Immigration Subcommittee, where Democrats hosted an economist, a business advocate and an immigrant rights activist to lay out the economic case for a more generous immigration policy. Marilena Hincapie, executive director of the National Immigration Law Center said, "It's time to end the dynamic of having immigration status function as the gatekeeper to accessing necessities and rights for all." Jennifer Hunt, a professor at Rutgers University and a member of a National Academy of Sciences panel that studied the economics of immigration, said immigrants have a net positive effect as a whole, helping raise both the overall size of the economy and boosting wages in specific quarters. According to Jennifer Hunt, immigrants add to the labor force, are often more flexible in their ability to move to regions of the country for opportunities, and help increase the specialization of native-born workers, which makes those workers in turn more productive. Ms. Hunt said, "Even low-skilled workers benefit the economy by taking jobs in areas such as child care, helping more women join the labor force." The 2017 NAS report found that on the whole, immigrants don't hurt wages, she said, though some subgroups did suffer, and there was disagreement over how much. She said her own conclusions are that the effect on low-skilled workers is small, though she acknowledged it's a concern, particularly amid years of stagnant wage growth at the lower rung. Mr. Kirsanow, Republicans' witness on the panel, said the problem comes primarily from illegal immigration. In low-skilled jobs, they present an attractive workforce for some employers. He said they are easier to exploit, either with substandard wages or with rough working conditions that, because of their legal status, they're unlikely to complain about. He pointed to specific instances he's seen in his practice as a labor lawyer where a minority-owned business was unable to compete for a job with another outfit because the other outfit was willing to hire unauthorized labor. He also cited Democrats' push to more than double the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour as a complicating factor, saying it would draw more migrants and create even more space to undercut the American workers' wages, he said. He said, "This couldn't be a worse time, because of the pandemic and off in the horizon is the prospect of a $15 minimum wage. It's not just Black Americans, it's all Americans, but it happens to be that Black Americans are particularly concentrated in a certain area." Representative Pramila Jayapal, Washington Democrat and an immigrant herself, said one way to deal with the competition issue is to legalize the unauthorized population to level the playing field, and then invest in education for all demographics. She said, "It seems like we would be in a much better place." Senator Lindsey Graham assured President Trump the impeachment case against him is over during a phone call Tuesday night. Mr. Graham told reporters on Wednesday, "The bottom line is I reinforced to the president, the case is over. It's just a matter of getting the final verdict now. House impeachment managers are making their case that President Trump incited an insurrection on January 6 throughout several hours of legal arguments on the second day of President Trump's impeachment hearing. The trial opened on Tuesday with the two sides debating whether an impeachment trial for a former president is constitutional. The Senate voted 56-44 that it was, allowing the proceeding to continue. 6 Republicans voted with Democrats in favor of the trial moving forward, and expressed praise for the House Democrats' arguments, saying they were strong. President Trump's legal team, though, says they do not plan on changing their strategy. Mr. Graham told reporters he expects more than 44 senators to vote for acquittal. He said, "I think the vote for not guilty will probably grow beyond 44." Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri said Representative Eric Swalwell was a provocative choice to present part of the House Democrats' impeachment case against President Trump on Wednesday, in light of the California Democrats' recent espionage scandal. Mr. Hawley told reporters, "That's an interesting choice. Somebody who's part of a Chinese espionage ring effectively, so it's a provocative choice. I will say that." Mr. Swalwell argued President Trump showed intent to incite a violent mob on January 6 during a joint session of Congress by pointing to several tweets from the former president, praising his supporters for coming to his rally and noting the day would be historic. But Mr. Swalwell isn't immune from scrutiny himself, with Axios reporting in December that the House Intelligence Committee member was targeted by a Chinese spy named Christine Fang, whom Mr. Swalwell became friendly with. Mr. Swalwell denied any inappropriate interaction with Ms. Fang, who has since left the country. But the lawmaker has remained on the prestigious committee and was tapped by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to assist in prosecuting President Trump. Other conservatives have taken jabs at Representative Jamie Raskin, Maryland Democrat, who is leading the House Democrats' impeachment team, for previously objecting to the 2016 election results. They say it's hypocritical for him to now be claiming President Trump incited an insurrection by challenging the 2020 election. House impeachment managers are making their case against the former president throughout several hours of legal arguments on Wednesday.